Shalom. Our verse for the day is Matthew chapter 10 verse 31. Fear not therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows. These words come towards the end of Jesus' discourse on the mission of the apostles in Matthew chapter 10. Having explained to them what the mission is and the persecution they were to expect in the course of the mission, Jesus went on to encourage them by telling them not to be afraid. The call to resist fear is made 3 good times in verses 26, 28, and 31. The verb used is phobeo, which in the passive becomes phobeomai. While the verb can be used to express the condition of awe or deep respect for someone or something, its usage in our passage does not point to reverential fear, but to fear out of intimidation. This fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the threat of danger, pain, or harm. These words on the need to be courageous rather than fearful come after Jesus had informed the apostles that they will be handed over to Sanhedrins and scourged in the synagogues, as well as being dragged before kings and governors for the sake of Jesus. When this happened, however, the apostles are not to be afraid. In the first instance, Jesus says, "Do not be afraid of them, for nothing is covered that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known." In this statement, Jesus is reminding his followers that the truth shall prevail. Jesus is also reminding them of the need to speak the truth at all times and never hold back. When Christians continuously refuse to hold back from standing for the truth, when they refuse to be intimidated by those in authority but speak the truth to power, falsehood will be revealed for what it is. Those in leadership, civil or religious, may want to hide their falsehood and demonic inclinations by using their power and authority. The true servant of Christ, however, must not hold back from speaking the truth. Secondly, Jesus says, "Do not fear those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell." This statement draws attention to the fact that no earthly suffering is comparable to the eternal punishment that awaits those who reject the truth. If we reject the truth on earth because we are afraid of earthly powers, we stand the risk of eternal damnation. Finally, our verse says that we should not be afraid because we are worth more than sparrows. This verse reminds us that we are precious before the Lord. Psalm 84 verse 3 says, "Even the sparrow finds a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young at thy altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God." This psalm explicates Jesus' statement that although the sparrow is worth half a penny, it is still valuable to God. More valuable, however, is the human being who is created in the image and likeness of God. As Jesus says, "Every hair on your head has been counted, so do not be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows." Even when we are hunted like sparrows by those who hate us, Lamentations 3:52, we should not be afraid. In the perilous times we have found ourselves today, we ought to be courageous. Even as kidnappings of priests and Christians is ongoing in Nigeria, we ought not to be afraid. Even when those who disregard the life of defenseless babies in the womb revolt against the overturn of Roe v. Wade in America and are causing mayhem on our streets, we ought not be afraid of standing for the truth. Even when evil people who are hungry for power try to convince us that they are our friends, that we should vote for them, and when we don't do that, they call us names, we ought not be afraid. We ought not be afraid to choose holy and worthy leaders to govern our societies. Jesus is telling you today, do not be afraid. I have overcome the world. May God take away our fears, embolden us by His Spirit, and make us defenders of truth. Amen.